Jake, a 20-year-old boy, always felt tired and frustrated after hanging out with his so-called friends. They constantly complained about everything, made negative comments, and never encouraged him to pursue his dreams. It felt like every time he left their company, his energy drained away, and he questioned his own choices. One afternoon, Jake was sitting alone in the park, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders. That's when he noticed an elderly man sitting quietly by a bench reading a book. The man had a calm aura about him that immediately caught Jake's attention. As the wind gently rustled the leaves, Jake wandered over to the bench. The old man, noticing Jake's troubled expression, smiled kindly and invited him to sit. He asked, "What's weighing on your mind, young one?" Jake sighed deeply and started explaining how his friends seemed to drag him down. "I try to be positive, but they always bring up problems and never seem to be happy for me. Every time I spend time with them, I feel more tired and less motivated." The sage nodded wisely. "Ah, I see. You're giving too much of yourself to people who aren't returning the energy you deserve. Let me ask you a question. If you were to spend all day with someone who only talks about negativity, how would you feel by the end of the day?" Jake paused and thought for a moment. "I guess I'd feel exhausted and drained," the sage said. "Negative energy can suck the life out of you. Just like a leaky bucket losing water, your energy leaks away when you're around people who drain you." Jake's eyes widened. "So what should I do?" The sage smiled gently, his eyes twinkling. "You have to choose your friends wisely, my boy. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, who encourage your dreams, who bring positivity into your life. Life is too short to spend time with people who don't support your growth." Jake looked at the sage, unsure. "But they're my friends. Shouldn't I always be there for them?" The sage nodded slowly. "Yes, you should be kind and compassionate, but that doesn't mean you should allow their negativity to affect you. Helping others doesn't mean sacrificing your well-being. It's okay to step away when their energy becomes toxic." Jake thought long and hard. "So, I need to be more careful about who I spend my time with?" "Yes," the sage said, smiling. "Remember this. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you give too much to people who don't value your energy, you'll have nothing left to give to those who truly deserve it." Jake felt a shift in his thinking. He realized that his friend's constant negativity had been wearing him down. He'd always tried to help them, thinking it was his responsibility to fix everything. But now he understood that taking care of himself and surrounding himself with positive influences was just as important. The next day, Jake made a conscious decision. He started distancing himself from friends who didn't bring positivity into his life. It wasn't easy at first. There were moments of guilt when he didn't answer their calls or texts. But slowly he began to notice something incredible. His energy returned. He felt more focused, more motivated, and started pursuing activities that made him happy, like reading, playing sports, and spending time with his family. Jake also made an effort to meet new people, those who shared his passions and aspirations. He found himself laughing more, feeling inspired, and even becoming more confident in his abilities. As weeks passed, Jake looked back and realized how much his life had changed. He didn't just have more energy, he had more peace. By cutting ties with the energy-draining people in his life, Jake had created space for the positive, uplifting friendships that encouraged him to grow. One afternoon, he returned to the park where he had met the sage. The old man was still sitting on the same bench, as though he had been waiting for Jake. "How are you doing, my boy?" the sage asked with a warm smile. Jake grinned. "I feel amazing. I took your advice. I stopped spending time with people who drained me and started surrounding myself with those who encourage me. I have more energy, and I'm even starting to believe in my dreams more." The sage chuckled. "That's wonderful. Remember, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. The right people will help you become the best version of yourself." Jake nodded, feeling a sense of calm and confidence he had never experienced before. He understood now that he didn't have to sacrifice his energy for the sake of others. It was important to protect his own well-being while being kind and supportive to those who truly mattered. From that day forward, Jake continued to build relationships with those who lifted him up, and he grew stronger, more confident, and more fulfilled.